My bad, everyone. My bad. Listen,
Totally fine.
don't trust me with your expensive things. Is what we're learning today. Don't do it. That
I was
is,
just
yeah.
so sad about Travis's bag. I was like, he's gonna break up with him now. I would break up with him over this bag.
Hey, welcome back to the Stories on Tape podcast. I'm your host, Josh Robinson, and today's storyteller is someone I would describe as chosen family. She's someone that I didn't know I needed in my life, but now that she's here, she's not going anywhere, and we have matching tattoos. It's the one and only Andee Dowdy. Hi, Andee.
Hello! I'm so excited to be on your podcast today. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you. Of course, of course. How are you today? Your hair first, looking fabulous.
Thank you. Yes, I just got it done last week. That's a story that I would probably enjoy telling you in a bit. But yeah, I'm great. I'm great. Got off
Fantastic.
this morning to a rough start. Um, I have two kids, as you know. My daughter started off this
I do.
morning, blowout, all in her crib, all over her pajamas. Oh, yeah, blowout everywhere. It's like 8 a.m., okay? I have to go get her in the bath because baby wipes literally could not even touch all the
Mhm.
poop. And then to make matters worse, when I'm trying to change her diaper and trying to get her in the bath, she like takes her hand, rubs it across her, rubs it across the poop, rubs it in her hair, all over her face.
And now I'm adding this to the list of reasons why I'm never having children.
You know what? This would
I
be a good
think I would have just called the day done.
one. Yeah, hadn't even had I called you.
I'm impressed that you still have had a day.
Thank you.
Mm-mm. No.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
it was
No.
rough.
Okay, before we get into any other stories, and y'all, there are several, do you have a story that you can share with us to tell us who Andee Dowdy is if we've never met you before?
There is many. I don't know. I think I listened to Jake a few days ago when you asked me to do this. I listened to Jacob's episode, and so I heard him tell the story of how we first met when we were at Campbell Street, and this probably just sums up our relationship and who I am as a person. But the first time I saw you, I was like, oh my gosh, he is adorable. First of all, how old is he? Like 14?
Hi, future Josh here, editing this episode of Stories on Tape. I'm not sure what happened with part of the recording of Andy's story, so there's a little jump here for a second. But yes, what you're about to hear is the way Andee loves to greet people, especially when she knows you very well. So please continue enjoying Stories on Tape. Thanks for listening. I don't even. Sorry, everyone. We were having some technical difficulties. We're back now. Um, yes, Andee Dowdy. Her favorite way to greet people that she loves is pinching nipples, grabbing nipples,
I
pinching.
don't know where that even started. I don't know why I started doing that. I just, it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm kind of short. So, like, when I hug you, your boobs were just like right in my face. And so I just,
My boobs. Yeah, I did have to warn my now husband the first time he met you, like, hey, more than likely, what's going to happen is she's gonna try to grab your nipples, and he was like, I'll hit her. I'll punch her. And I'm like, that's fine.
he,
Like that is very
he didn't.
acceptable. I'm just warning you.
He didn't. It just kind of shocked him and he laughed very
Mhm.
cutely. So,
Are you seeing yourself in either of your children so far?
today, my daughter wanted a water. So I handed her a water. But apparently, I did not hand her the water in the cup that she wanted because she had a meltdown. And when she gets mad, she flails back, like head hits whatever is behind her, doesn't matter. Screams, I mean, yells at the top of her lungs and throws a tantrum on the ground. So I would say that that probably is from me, unfortunately. Yes.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. But I've gotten to talk to several parents on the podcast. Did you always want to be a mom? Was that something that was kind of in your cards? Was that something later once you and Jacob got together? What is that like for you?
think in the back of my mind, I always wanted to be a mom. But now that it's here and happening, I'm like, was I sure? Did I really want that? Am I really doing this? I'm in charge of these humans. But we're going with it. We're going with the flow. Yeah, it's great.
You're
I
making it
think
work.
I'm making it work. It is terrifying
You
though.
are absolutely. Why?
Like last
Oh,
night
I
was
can I
like,
can assume.
yeah, last night Lewis was like, "Can we say our bedtime prayers like I do with Daddy?" I said, "Who are we praying to?"
I
He said,
see.
"God," but he actually calls him dog. So
Oh, calls him dog.
yeah, it's kind of cute.
I will say, watching you and Jacob be parents is very fun, and hearing your stories that we've already heard. I as soon as we found out that baby number one was coming, I was like, oh, these are good people. These are people that are gonna like know how to raise a kid and also like take accountability and let their kids be their own people. Because I don't think I'm out of line in saying that like you and Jacob found yourselves after leaving home, which I think we all do. But I think like your time at Freed, and especially like those first few years in Jackson, you kind of like became adults in a really beautiful way.
Yeah, yeah, we really did. Yeah, we had to grow up pretty early, just like with our childhood, and so yeah, we really trauma bonded there. So we're just trying not to scar
Absolutely. Um,
our children.
and for for that we are thankful. Speaking of trauma bonding, do you remember when I almost burned your house down?
Listen, it's truly one of my favorite stories. Yes. So Josh
Um,
had come to visit.
yes,
Had you already moved? You had already moved away, like to go on tour,
I
Travis, right? I think so.
well, Travis
Well,
was there.
yeah, no. So I don't think you had gone on tour yet because he was coming to visit you, and so he came to our house, and you were. I think you were still in Jackson, but maybe not for long.
I think that's right. You were in your new house. You were in
Yes.
the yeah.
Yeah, okay, so
Mhm.
Travis came. So I think you were still in Jackson. You had come over and you were like, Travis is gonna come visit. Like, let's have dinner. And so we had like wine and charcuterie, and we were so excited to hang out with him because he was honestly just like so cool. He still is so cool. Um, but we were in my backyard and we were just eating and sitting around like a fire, I think, and um, I had the back door, like it was in my backyard, so you could see the kitchen through my glass back door. And you had gone inside to grab something and came back out, and we're sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear the like smoke alarm, the fire alarm. And Jacob's like, "Is that our fire alarm?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sure it's fine. No big deal." But then it like keeps going, and then we see smoke, and we run inside. I run inside first. Josh has set a bag, a really nice Disney World. Like it was like Disney World Paris or something. It was such a nice bag. And he had set it, and the handle of it
Mhm.
had caught on fire from a candle on my wooden island in my very wooden house and very wooden kitchen. And yeah, so I freak out. Apparently, I do not do well in those situations, but Josh definitely does. He is a very much take action person. He ran it, grabbed the flaming bag, didn't even care that it was on fire. I don't know how he didn't burn himself. Literally grabbed this bag, threw it in my sink, started running the water, and was like, "What's your problem?" But it was so, I think back to that, it was hilarious. And to this day, that island still has a burn mark on it from the very expensive, very fancy Paris Disney World bag. Disneyland, whatever.
Oh, I don't think I knew that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mhm. My bad, everyone. My bad. Listen,
Totally fine.
don't trust me with your expensive things. Is what we're learning today. Don't do it. That
I was
is,
just
yeah.
so sad about Travis's bag. I was like, he's gonna break up with him now. I would break up with him over this bag.
He didn't. He
No,
didn't. So
no.
it's fine. I also that house holds a lot of special memories. Um, in fact, I got to live there for a little bit with you guys before I did go on tour. Um, and we did a Harry Potter marathon together.
We sure did. We literally blew up
Mhm.
a
Mhm.
queen size air mattress and moved all of our furniture so that we could have like beds and an air mattress and the couch. And we went and bought all kinds of sour candy and snacks and had like this elaborate spread of very unhealthy things on my kitchen table. And in 2 days, we had a Harry Potter marathon right before you left. Why was it Harry Potter? Why did we do that?
We did. We did. Our friend I don't know, honestly. I mean, like, I know that we all like Harry Potter, and I think
Yeah.
maybe one of our favorite I feel like for a minute we were just, like, yelling Harry Potter quotes at each other.
Okay.
Uh,
Yes. Plus Molly Kate. Yes.
maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think what I remember most is, like, after every movie, we would, like, switch seats, and we
Yeah.
were just like, sit for 2 hours, move, sit for 2 hours, move. It is truly one of my, like, favorite memories, and then, of course, just you guys being so welcoming and letting me stay at your house for multiple weeks. Um, it just you and your husband, Jacob, are very, very special people, and I love you both very much. And I'm sad that I live very far away again. Um, tell me a little bit about your move to Knoxville and what you guys are up to now.
We moved to Knoxville in the fall of 2023. So Lewis was almost a year old. It was very traumatic for me. I did not want to leave Jackson, but knew that I couldn't stay in one place for friends forever. And this was a good opportunity for Jacob's career. And Knoxville's a really cool place to live. So I was like, that like I'm excited about that. Um, but yeah, we are at Hardin Valley Church right now, and it's great. I mean, I basically am the best Christian ever. Didn't God say something about being fruitful and multiply? That's what I'm doing. So you're
Done
welcome.
it twice now since you've lived in Knoxville. So
3 times.
what else could he ask for?
Exactly. So yeah, we're really not up to like a whole lot more than that. Putting up Christmas
Have
decorations.
you become football fans since UT Knox is right there? Are you going to games? I know I've heard some stories.
We have been going to lots of UT games. It feels very weird because Jacob and I were never sports people. We grew up in Alabama. My grandparents literally have Roll Tide on their gravestones, their tombstones. Um, and now we say Go Vols. And I think they're considering taking me out of their well for that. But yeah, Jacob loves football. I love football. Our son loves football, which is very strange because right before we moved to Knoxville, Josh and Molly Kate Steele had to set me down at my table. And I don't know if you remember this, but with potato chips. It might
I
have been,
forgot.
it was like a combination between potato chips and Ticket to Ride pieces, but you had to set me down and be like, this is the quarterback, this person right here. This is what a fumble is. So yes, you actually kick-started my love for UT football by explaining to me how the game worked. Mhm.
And which is probably shocking to people who know me because, like, I know nothing about sports. I know the basics, and I can name some of the positions on a football team. Quarterback's the main one. I know that guy. Molly Kate was probably doing most of the directing, and I was probably trying to like break it down for you after she would say things because I feel like we're more on the same level when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Could I tell you what a fumble is now, though? I could not. I could not. But it was really
Please,
helpful at
yeah,
the time.
could you?
I could not. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No.
I love that. I love that. And I mentioned this before we started recording. You, my friend, have gone through some very interesting career paths since I've known you. Can we talk a little bit about all the jobs you've had in the last like 5 years or so?
Yeah, yeah. That's a good one. So I graduated from Freed with a degree in kinesiology, with an emphasis in exercise science. And my hope and dream was to continue to like OT school. But I quickly realized I'm kind of the worst student in the world. So that didn't happen. So when I graduated and we moved to Jackson, I got certified as an exercise physiologist. And at the time, I was working at Starbucks because I just needed a job. We were two poor college kids that just got married. And so I got certified as an exercise physiologist and got several certifications. I was a personal trainer, I was a swim instructor, I was a bar, yoga, Pilates teacher, um, and I also served interim as the clinical integration coordinator at Lift Wellness Center. Um, yes, so doing all of that at this medical fitness facility in Jackson and loved it. Like, it was great. And then all of a sudden, Jacob and I try for a baby, and we get pregnant on the first try, which awesome, great. And then I'm a few months pregnant, and I'm like, you know what? This job sucks. I think I want a career change. And so I get on Indeed, and the first thing that pops up is an ELA teacher at a middle school. Do I have any teaching experience? None. Again, kinesiology major. So I apply thinking there's no way these people are going to hire me. I'm literally an exercise physiologist right now. I'm teaching people how to do push-ups, okay? But in fact, they give me a call back and these people hire me. So yes, I'm 7 months pregnant and I completely switched careers and I'm a 6th grade ELA teacher at a middle school in Jackson. And they asked me, well, you're pregnant. Are you going to come back after maternity leave? And I'm like, definitely. What else would I do? Turns out I didn't go back. Yeah. So sorry, West Bemis. Y'all were great. I'm just a little crazy. Yeah. So that brings me to my next point. So I'm pregnant again, and the other day I was gonna go get my hair cut because it was very long. And I was like, maybe I'll get some highlights, which is what I usually do. Nope, we completely changed color. This is the darkest my hair has ever been. So I guess just stay tuned for what other crazy things I do while I'm pregnant. But yeah, that was my career changes.
And now you hang out with your kids all day.
And now I'm a stay-at-home mom. Why did I go to college?
Um, I was gonna ask, do you like being a stay-at-home mom? I know there are pros and cons. What is that like for you day to day? I mean, obviously waking up this morning wasn't the best way to start a day.
It was not. It is great most days. Yes, there are certainly days when I'm like, I can't do this with you. You're about to go to daycare. But overall, I actually really do. I love being a stay-at-home mom. I have plans to homeschool because obviously, if I was a 6th grade English teacher, I could totally teach my kids, right? So, luckily in Knoxville, there is tons of co-ops and there's so many different homeschool programs. And yeah, so I love staying at home with them and being able to have, like today we went to Panera Bread for lunch because I was craving a salad, and we went to thrift, like a Christmas store, thrift store, and It was just so great because I get to see all the things that my kids are learning day to day that normally I would be reading about on a report card or a report sheet. And that just breaks my heart. And also, it's a little scary with the lack of gun laws in America. Sending my kids to school, it's pretty scary. Um, and so there's a lot of things that factor into me wanting to stay at home. But yeah, I do really love it. I love being the one that gets to see them be creative and see them learning things for the first time and saying words and taking their first steps. And it's really beautiful. I love them so much.
No, absolutely. I mean, there's a list of reasons why I myself am not having children. The main one being I'm a gay man married to a man. So no. But I get to be fun Uncle Josh to many kids in my life, yours included. So I can't wait for Uncle Josh and Travis camp whenever they get a little older and we get to uh you send them to New York for a week and we spoil them and take them to whatever and then send them back to you and I get to be the cool guy and you guys have to be the mean ones again.
Yes, that would be so fun. They would love that. Lewis said, "Tell Uncle Gosh I said hi."
Hi, Lewis. Um, it, do I keep hearing piano in the background?
You sure do. I'm so sorry. I am
Is
in our
that Lewis
basement.
or Jacob playing? Or
It, it is Lewis. Yes.
of course it is. Of course it
Mhm.
is. Do you
Yeah.
think your children will lean more towards sports or the like creative field um when they are older?
So Jacob likes to joke and say that Lewis and him are going to be like a reverse High School Musical, because Jacob grew up theater, band, instruments, like fine arts. And Lewis is very athletic and very good at shooting basketballs. And he's really good at soccer. And like today, he was getting a haircut and he didn't want the rest of his new, like, York mint patty. And I jokingly said, "Throw it in the trash," and he literally threw it across the room and made it into the trash can. He is very athletic, and so Jacob jokes that Lewis is gonna say, "Dad, I want to play sports," and he's gonna be like, "No, go to theater practice." So our kids are, yes, very athletic. I'm not sure about Darcy yet. She's 14 months, but for Lewis, I can say he is very athletic. I feel sorry for Jacob.
I remember joking about that before Lewis was born. Like, Jacob, if like what happens if your kid wants to play sports? Like, what are you gonna do? And he was like, send him to theater camp. What do you mean? He's gonna sing and dance and yeah. hmm
Yeah.
Um, I like soccer. I'll support soccer. I know that sport very well, thanks to my sisters. So if you need any pointers or anything, just let me know.
Okay, great. Can't wait to be a soccer mom.
Um, and then do you remember I think the only time we have taken like a big trip together, we came to New York. Um, and saw some shows and things. What do you remember about that trip?
So when we first arrived, we got there separately. When we first
Mhm,
arrived,
mhm.
I had fallen asleep in our taxi, and we get to the Airbnb that we're staying at, and I'm like, "I'm exhausted. I need to like lay down and take a nap for a second." And you were like, "You just slept the entire taxi ride here." And I go lay down, and you're like, "Is there something wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Yes, I actually have narcolepsy." So that was the first time I think that you were like, "Wow, you sleep a whole lot." But also, so we go to dinner, we see shows, and it is like not peak COVID because this is like it's still like it's 2022. So COVID, but you are like the COVID manager safety person thing with Hamilton. And so you were very serious about it. And you were like, y'all, everywhere we go, we have to wear masks. And we were like, okay, like you're a psychopath, but whatever, we'll wear masks because we love you. And so everywhere in all the shows, you're like, we can't get COVID. We're not going to give anybody COVID. We're not getting COVID. We're wearing masks. And we're like, okay, whatever. So every show, you're yelling at us to put our masks on. Every restaurant, everywhere we go, if we're not outside, we're wearing a mask. And then after this trip, you gave us all COVID. So just would like to point that out. That you, in fact, had it first, gave it to us. But no, that was a super, super fun trip. I was pregnant with Lewis. Um, so New York City in your first trimester is not ideal because of all the smells. You got the pee and the hot dog trucks and the subway, and it's a lot of smells for your first trimester. So every couple blocks, I was just like, hold on, let me vomit for a sec. That was not ideal. And Josh, I don't know what came upon you when you booked that specific Airbnb, but the hill that we had to walk up to get to that Airbnb, whew, that was rough. Those people of the owners needed to put that in the
Yeah. I I I think I booked it because we were there originally because Molly Kate and I were going to a concert for AJR. And so I think my thought was it's closer to the concert, but that was only one night and we were there for like 3 or 4, 2 or 3 nights, I think. And so like we spent a lot more time in like Midtown than we did. I don't know why we did that. It was silly and I apologize. I just remember after a show, we got into a taxi or an Uber and the motion sickness hit you the last like 5 minutes. And when we got home, we had to clear a path for you to get inside that Airbnb as fast as possible.
Oh, it was very rough. I I was so thankful I did not
Mhm.
vomit in the back of that Uber. It was close. But yeah, that was a but
It
it
was
was
bad.
I think back to that trip and I'm like, no, it was such a great trip. But those two things, me being pregnant, and then we were like, I think it was like a 45-minute subway ride, right? From like Manhattan. It was
Yes.
so long. And so whenever we would go like see our shows or go into New York, we had to ride the subway for like 45 minutes. It was so funny. Jacob was like, I'm never letting Josh book
It
an
was
Airbnb again.
it
But it
was
was
so stupid. Um, I also am now realizing that was the second time that I gave people in our friend group COVID.
correct. Yes, the first time was like peak, but like 2020. And bless Molly Kate's heart, it was the first time she had hung out with all of us. So we were already friends. Molly Kate had just been hired at Campbell Street, and we were gonna try to invite her into our friend group, right? And so we go to the Frizzell's house, which are also still some of our dear friends, and we are all hanging out. And Molly is probably like, these are some crazy people. But she stuck with us anyway, so it's fine. Obviously, it turned out great. But yes, you in fact did give all of us COVID. She actually ended up getting COVID and the flu, but I just got COVID. So,
That's right. Yeah. So sorry everyone. Apparently I the only the only time we didn't wear a mask on that New York trip was when Molly Kate and I went to the concert. But it was outdoors. So we were like, "Oh, we're fine." We weren't fine. We
mm,
weren't.
no, no. So, anyway, anytime I want to get
And then
COVID,
I
I'll call you.
went yeah, just come find me. I
Yeah,
After that, I left I think a day before y'all or earlier the same something, and I flew back to the tour and we were in oh no. We were somewhere in Washington state and I tested positive for COVID as the COVID safety manager. So I then got to sit in a hotel by myself for 2 weeks. because that was the like quarantine period. So I sat by myself and then finally got to join the cast a little bit later. Um, but yeah, man, what a time. What a time.
Good memories.
Um, another one of another one of my favorite stories of us is how you found out that I'm gay.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, let me express I was so sad that you didn't tell me personally. My husband was the first person you told, and I get home from
He
work,
was. Mhm.
work or school that day. I honestly can't remember. I don't know if I was like a senior in college or if I was at work, but I got home and Jacob was like, "I have to tell you something." I was like, "Okay, what?" And he was like, "Josh told me today that he's gay." And I was like, "No way, for real?" And Jacob was like, "Yeah, and it's awesome. Like, it's crazy. I'm so honored that he like told me." And I was like, "Why didn't he tell me?" And Jacob was like, "I don't know, but he's out in our parking lot right now because we lived at the church house." And Jacob was like, "He's out in the parking lot right now. Like, you need to go out there and tell him that you love him still." And I was like, "Okay." And so you're like in your life, your old life group or something, and it's COVID, so you're all sitting out in lawn chairs in the parking lot right outside of our house. And I go up and we are about to leave or something, and so we go to say goodbye to everyone and say bye to you for a trip or something. And I whisper in your ear, and I'm like, "Jacob told me you're gay. That's awesome." So yeah, I think it's like congratulations. I don't know why.
I forgot that's why I forgot that's why I was there. Yes, I was with my life I forgot that that was
Yeah,
yeah, because 'cause y'all lived in the houses in the parking lot of the church at the time. That's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a nice
Yeah,
story.
and I'm looking back now, you should have been the least worried person I, like, to worry about, um, but I think just because, like, I had told so few people, I was like and we all go to church together, and, like, not everyone at church is cool, and so, like, I don't know, so thank you for loving me, and thank you for congratulating me. I'm very thankful.
Congrats. Yeah,
That's so
I
funny. I forgot
definitely,
about that part.
I can
Mhm.
so see why raising. I mean, you were raised in the Church of Christ. I can definitely see how that was scary and intimidating because people usually are not okay with that. But it's not my job to judge. It's my job to love, and I love you so so much. So, congrats.
Uh, I love I love you so, so much. Can we talk, and we don't have to. I would just love to know your thoughts on like religion and spirituality. Because it was a big part of my life for a long time, and I still have many close friends who like work in a church or are connected to churches in some way. So what is your like belief, or when people ask, what do you tell them?
Um, this is actually something that I struggle with every single day, especially as a mom raising two small children and my husband being a worship minister in a Church of Christ. I grew up in a very conservative Church of Christ, so much so that one day I was told it was snowing in Alabama, which is very rare. And I was told that I wore dress pants, and I was told that pants are for men, and that I could not do that anymore if I wanted to go to heaven. And um, so it's honestly a miracle that I stayed in church, but especially the Church of Christ, having so much church hurt. And yeah, so religion really is it's hard. I lately have been ordering some books um, to try to expand my viewpoints and honestly just kind of form my own opinion, which sounds logical, but I feel like unfortunately a lot of adults grow up with the beliefs that they have because it's what you've always been taught and it's the tradition in the church, and even though it may not be biblical, It's tradition. It's what you do, and that is the kind of mindset that I'm really trying to break away from. Is is this something we're doing because it's what Jesus wanted us to do, or is this something that we're doing because it's always been done? And so I just ordered this book from by Brian Recker. It's called Hellbent, and it's talking about how the fear of hell is keeping people from truly living out like their best life as a Christian and loving people the way Jesus intended and wanted and wants. And it's been really life changing for me. But I don't know. I'm probably the worst person to talk about religion with because I feel like I struggle so much with my belief in God, which is a horrible thing. My husband literally works for a church. And I'm like, is God real? But I believe in a God and I believe that there is a higher power. I think the important thing for me, especially right now, is just to keep asking questions because the God that I want to believe in is not the God that I was taught growing up. And it shaped who I am. And so that still is a big foundation portion of me. And I don't want to let that go. And so I think it's important to just keep asking questions because God's not afraid of my questions. And I think He's big enough to handle anything I throw at Him, which is, are you even real? Are you even listening to me? Why do you let these things happen? But yeah, it's a daily battle with me, especially when my son comes home from like Bible class and he's singing these songs, and I'm like, that's triggering for me. But also church community is huge, huge for Jacob and I. Um, we don't live close to any family, and that's a whole situation in and of itself. But church community has always been super huge. Um, and I mean, even when we were in Jackson, you went to Campbell Street because you didn't have any family there, and so church community really, really is so special. They are our chosen family, and so yeah, we want to raise our children in the church. And just because I have these questions that I may never get answers to, doesn't mean that God's not real or a higher power isn't real and that I still can't love people. And I think that's the thing I struggle with the most, especially about being in a Church of Christ, is I'm not like your typical Church of Christ member, especially not a worship minister's wife. But again, like when you told me you were gay, like that didn't even faze me at all because Jesus said to love. And so I love. And I don't know. It's not my job to judge. It's not my job to decide if this is going to send you to hell or not. Like it's not my job. I'm just here to be kind. And yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at right now is I'm questioning lots of things, but ultimately I am truly just trying to be like Jesus was in the Bible, which is just kind and loving and helpful. We'll see. I don't know. I'll let you know if I go to hell.
Mm.
I'll come back and
I
haunt you.
love Please, I would love that, honestly. I think that would keep life even more interesting than it already is. I think what I've learned, about the just growing up in the church and then the people I've stayed in contact with and the friends I have and social media, I think the people that are asking questions are the people who really want to have that faith that I heard about all the time growing up. I think the people that are set in their ways and like you said, doing it because we've always done it, not necessarily because the Bible or whatever book we read says this is how things are done. I think those are the people that are giving religion a bad name, a bad rap, a bad reputation. Um, so I'm glad that you're asking questions, and I'm glad that you're able to talk about it. And I hope that I think for me growing up too, asking questions wasn't ever like ins not inspired, like wanted. I think it was very much like you said, this is how we do it. This is how it's always been done. But I feel like when I had a question, I couldn't ask it because then it might like take a turn or might confuse someone or whatever. Um, so I think I'm just glad that you are you and you're not afraid to ask those questions, to read the books, to broaden your horizon, like you said. I think that's I hope you continue to do that, and I hope many more people will continue to do that. Um, and just love people, like you said. I think that's the most important thing, is just loving people.
Yeah, I couldn't care less if you go to church or
Mm.
if you believe in God. I just care if you're kind. And that's kind of what I am trying to instill in my children is I want you to be kind. I don't care if you're right. I don't care if you're smart. I don't care
Mhm.
about all of these things. I need you to be compassionate and loving. So, yeah, we'll see how that turns out.
Mm. We got a few years, but we'll stay in touch. We'll keep track.
I sure hope so because we do have matching tattoos. Although Josh does like to point out that he does have three younger sisters, and if our friendship ever doesn't work out, he can just say this tattoo is for his sisters. Rude.
I think if I ever got to the point where that was the story I really had to tell, I think I would just get it removed, because that would be so sad.
It would be so sad. Yeah, yeah.
It would be like, I can't think of something that would happen that would break up our friendship.
Oh, I can't either. I truly can't. And that is so beautiful. I'm so lucky
I
to have
think we would
friends
both start
like you.
crying.
And I know, yeah. I think I am so lucky to have friends like you and Molly Kate, where we are so far away. Like literally, Molly's in one side of Tennessee, we're in one side, and you're in New York. But like when we talk, it doesn't even feel like any time has passed. Like I'm very lucky to have you in my life.
Agreed. Agreed, friend. I love you very much. You are definitely one of my people for the long haul. What do you hope that do you have a hope of what you're doing in like 20, 30 years? Is there a dream, like living somewhere or doing some kind of job, or just like a hope for you, Jacob, and the kids?
Um, I hope in 20 years I am living in this beautiful farmhouse and I have a garden. I love to garden, as you know. I have a bunch of plant tattoos. Um, Jacob's actually upstairs moving my jungle of plants so we can put up our Christmas tree. Um, but yeah, I hope that we have a good relationship with our kids and they're in college or they're grown. And I don't know, I hope I go back to school and I would love to go get my doctorate of occupational therapy and go back to work at that. And yeah, I would love to travel with my husband and be surrounded during the holidays with all of my kids. So yeah, that really is it's kind of a boring,
That's beautiful, Andy.
yeah. So anyway,
That's that's not boring at all. I think that's a very beautiful, that's a, like, fulfilled life. I think many people would say if they had 2 of those things, they would be very happy and very fulfilled. So, I know that you'll be able to accomplish all of those things. I know for sure.
we will see. I hope so.
Another thing that I know to be true about you and Jacob, is your love for Disney.
Yes, we in fact, I have been to Disney. I
Uh-huh.
think we
Mhm.
calculated. I think I've been over 30 times. Unfortunately, it's only ever been to Walt Disney World and nowhere else. But still, we do love Disney very much. Quiz me on anything.
Where where does the love come from?
I don't know. I think Jacob and well, growing up, Disney movies are just there. I have pretty bad anxiety, and watching Disney movies has always been a comfort. I guess because it's familiar and they always have a happy ending, and that's my favorite. I don't want to watch a movie that does not have a happy ending. I won't watch it, as a matter of fact. And so Disney movies just feel comforting and they're happy, and I love the happily ever after. And so Disney World, it feels like a different place when you go. It really does feel like its own little bubble, and it feels like you're leaving the real world behind. And I don't know, it's just such a special place. Did you just hear the knocking?
Yes. Do we have a special appearance by someone?
Jacob, is that you? I think we do. Hold that thought. Are you guys
Holding.
No, I need you to vacate the premises.
Oh, Jacob's kicking me out of his office right now. I'm in the middle of a podcast.
Go upstairs.
Say hello.
That's so rude, Jacob Dowdy.
I'm pretty rude.
Hi.
Hi, friend. I'm so glad to see you. Hey, honey, this is in 3 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
I need you to go upstairs.
I'm taking you with me.
Go to the bedroom.
We're moving.
Hey, here's this.
Maybe your Wi-Fi's better in the bedroom.
Maybe.
Goodbye, I love
My
you.
network's been struggling down here anyway. Anywho. Yeah, so back to that. I think Disney just truly is a special place because it feels like you can leave all your problems and go into this little Disney bubble. I really do love it.
Two things. One, this is the first podcast where my guest has had to move during the interview. I love this so much. I would expect nothing less from the Dowdies. Second, what is one tip you would give to someone going to Disney for the first time? What's something they need to do or something they need to avoid when they go there?
I would say. Oh, would you like to come say hello? Who is that? Uncle Josh.
Lewis!
Say hi, Uncle Josh, and everyone that is listening
Hi,
to this
friend.
podcast. I would say stay on property. It makes the magic. I would also say go with people who have gone before. That really helps. Going with people who know the layout of Disney and staying on property, and they know how to get to and from the hotel really quick and how to maximize your time in the most efficient way. That's important. So if you can go with people who have been, definitely do that. There's this little restaurant called Tony's something. Maybe it's just called Tony's. It's right off Main Street, USA, in Magic Kingdom. It's an Italian restaurant themed after Lady and the Tramp. One of my favorite restaurants. And the vibes are immaculate. You can sit on the porch and watch, you can see the castle and watch everyone coming in the park. It's incredible. That's a great place to eat.
Okay,
Yeah.
good to know. Yeah, going with Travis is always nice because he is a big Disney person as well, and he plans it all, and I just follow. And he tells me times, and I say, "Okay, I'll be there," and that's all I have to do. So I will agree with the going with someone who's been before. It makes it all the difference.
It really, really, really does, for sure.
Is Jacob still vacation planning
He is
for people?
not. No, it's actually funny because I did those tests for him. And his name was on the travel agent stuff. But we were traveling so much, in college at that time, that when he was driving, I would read aloud the questions for the test, and so basically, I was the one that was certified. But he got all the credit for it. But no, he planned a few trips, but I think that's something that would be fun to do in your spare time and honestly just for fun. But we were never super serious about it enough to make it a full-time career and worth your while.
Sure. I just love you, friend. Anytime I think of you, I just smile, and I'm so happy that I get to know you and watch you become a mom and raise a family. I don't know. I just want you to know that I love you, and that's all.
I love you so much.
Um And then one question I'm asking everyone on the podcast, why do you think storytelling is so important?
I think storytelling is so important because when you asked me to be on your podcast for the first time months ago and then life happened, um, I was sitting down and I was trying to think of stories to tell or like memories that we have. And I was like, Jacob, do I have amnesia? Like, why can I not remember so many things? And then, like, when you sent me the text about maybe like what to talk about, or, and then Jacob and I were talking about funny stories, I realized when you don't say these things out loud, it's so easy to forget these funny memories and these funny stories and these beautiful moments. And they just kind of get lost in your mind and in the past. And I think telling stories is basically like reliving it. And it's so nice to be able to hear other people's perspective in the story, because what you remember isn't necessarily what I would remember. And I just think it's really beautiful to keep. It's a way to keep people alive and to keep memories alive and to keep bonding. So, yeah.
No, that is my thought exactly of starting this whole podcast is like that story that I always tell. What did Andy see that I didn't see? What did Jacob do that I didn't notice because I was putting a fire out? Like, so I have loved getting to hear other people's perspectives on stories that we share. It's always so much fun.
Yeah,
Um, One last story that just popped into my head. You guys, days before I left to go on tour, you threw me a birthday party.
we sure did. In my
And
backyard.
it was so special. What do you remember anything? I don't remember anything specific about it. I just remember like I hadn't had like a true birthday party in a while, and that it was just a really special day.
It was so fun because it was in my backyard in Jackson. Um, and there were so many people that came. And the craziest and weirdest, but also most fun part was that people from all different parts of your life were there mixing and mingling. And it was so strange. Like people from church were there, and like you were out, like you had come out. And so people from church were still there, that loved you and, didn't care. And also like people from your past job at WBBJ was there, like Julia was there, and your sister, one of your, I think Meredith came,
Yep.
and I don't know, there were just so many different and then two friends from Harding. One was like a Pied Piper with you.
That's
Yeah.
right. I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
And so
Yes.
that's one of the best memories, is that so many people from your life in different like stages and from all different parts of your life were there mixing and mingling, and I think it was really fun. Everyone seemed to be having a good time, and it was such a great way for us to try to show you one last time we love you.
I agree. I think the most impactful part of that was, like you said, people from church, specifically Danny and Tammy.
Yeah.
Danny is the minister, the preacher
Mhm.
at Campbell Street, and so him being there and also like taking pictures with me and like it was so special, and it was like, okay, like I am loved, I am seen, I am supported. So yeah, that was a really, really special time.
Yes, I loved that.
Mhm. Yes.
Good memory.
Well, Andy or Nini, as many that love you know you. Can we follow you on social media? Is there anywhere we should go to like keep up with your story? Are you on social media anymore?
I am. I Jacob likes to joke that I'm a boomer, and I'm most active on Facebook, which is just Andee Dowdy. But I do have an Instagram that I post stories on, and I will follow you back if you follow me. I think it's just Andee Dowdy, or maybe Andy_Dowdy. I'll have to double check that. One of those things.
Perfect. It'll be
How many
linked.
Andee Dowdys are there?
Right. Andy spelled Andee, by the way. So just look her up, everyone. I love you so much, Andy Dowdy. You are truly one of my favorite people. And thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on your podcast. I'm sorry that Jacob rudely interrupted us.
Yeah.
I love you very much. This was so nice to catch up.